Welcome back, everyone. I'm OG Cap. Are you ready to see Disney's Haunted Mansion movie coming out? I'm going to take a look at how the popular Disney ride inspired this new version, as well as the Eddie Murphy version. I'm even wearing my Nightmare Before Christmas shirt to get in the mood. Before we get into it, don't be scared to hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you like this video by hitting the like button. The bell tolls. Are to get more videos. Hey, make sure you stick around for a bonus at the end of this video. But you gotta stick around for it. Shall we dig up the first film and exhume what inspired it? Hold on tight. This ride might get a little bumpy. Only the folks at Disney could develop a comedy that is disguised as a supernatural horror film. It was released in 2003.
From Walt Disney Pictures, The Haunted Mansion.
I really like the fact that the writers use many elements in the film that are on the rides. Obviously, the first element we want to look at is Madame Leota. She is one of the most famous parts of the ride.
I am Madame Leota, seer of all.
Oh, that's great. What is that?
Visitors are taken around her floating head as she brings out the ghosts in the second half of the ride.
Call in the spirits, wherever they're at.
The movie obviously had to have this character in some form. Madame Leota was kept in a traditional sense by having her remain within the crystal ball. Did you know that this film had an end credit scene? I didn't know.
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate.
Madame Leota brings a special message to bring the end of the movie officially. If you know this ride well, you'll notice that it sounds very familiar to the departing message you receive at the end of the ride. Hurry back. The next inspiration has to do with the Gracie family. This is the family that haunts the Haunted Mansion in the movie.
Master Gracie wishes to discuss his affairs over dinner.
This house has a bit of history to it. And this history haunts these walls.
So, this is not just a random name that was made for the movie. It was in fact a way to pay homage to one of the original Imagineers who helped design the Disneyland version of the ride in California. It was a great way to honor someone who had a key part in the Haunted Mansion being created. A ghostly Gracie isn't mentioned in the ride narration. However, it is a name that has been associated with the ghost host by many fans.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers, and strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls.
Now that is a cool way to be remembered. The next element is the location of the mansion itself in the movie. It might not seem like a big deal, except for those of you that are big fans of the ride. It was a subtle nod that they had clearly taken inspiration from the attraction. The location of the mansion in the movie is the bayou in Louisiana. It makes sense because the Haunted Mansion attraction at the original Disneyland was in New Orleans Square. It wasn't essential to keep the location in Louisiana for the movie, but it was done to stay true to the attraction itself. The next connection is the ghostly horse carriage. In the movie, the carriage is a cool aspect, and it gives an excellent visual for the scene.
Of your afterlife.
You'll kill us all!
Some of us are already dead!
It was inspired by the ride, too. There aren't any carriages in the ride itself, but there is one outside. It's a prop outside the ride and works as a photo op for the guests. It is a memorable part of the whole ride experience, so adding it to the movie was a great choice. The hanging is our next inspiration. A character being hanged in the movie doesn't quite fit the family-friendly Disney ride, but it was indeed inspired by the ride itself. This event is actually in the versions of the attraction. It made sense to have it included in the movie because it plays such a big part in the attraction. Moving on to the hidden Mickeys. Any major fan of Disney theme parks knows that hidden Mickeys are a big deal. Major enthusiasts spend hours searching for the unique ways that Disney Imagineers sneak the shape of Mickey Mouse's head into different locations. Many can be found within the rides themselves, including the Haunted Mansion ride. The movie's creators decided to give a nod to fans in this regard. There are several hidden Mickeys that can be found within the movie for those who have keen eyes. The next inspiration is several iconic lines that the ride is known for were included in the movie. The ride is packed with quotable phrases that Disney fans can use at any time. Putting them in the movie was a great way of linking them. Several lines that were used in the film are used in the narration of the ride itself. Classic lines such as,
Welcome, foolish mortals. There's always my way.
And
Make your final arrangements now.
all making the cut of the movie. Now we come to the singing bus. An aspect of the ride that was included in the movie is the singing bus.
When the cryptos creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swinging wake.
Guys,
Down by the old mill stream, by the light of the silvery moon, of the silvery
guys, look.
Which comes from the upbeat half of the ride. When you get into the cemetery of the attraction, these classic bus can be seen singing the song of the ride that everyone knows so well. So, they had to be involved in the movie. This was one aspect of the movie that was spot on. This scene was one of the highlights of the entire movie. Did you know that the people who sang this song were actually the Dapper Dans, who perform at Disney resorts? The final connection is one that you may not be aware of. In the film, the moment when new homeowners sing Happy Anniversary to Jim and Sarah. I know, you're probably wondering what this is inspired by. It wasn't just something random. It came from a radio advertisement that was celebrating the anniversary of Disneyland that was paying homage to the haunted ride itself. Eddie Murphy's character Jim is annoyed by the singing. This is a reference to that as well, as listeners didn't enjoy the ad itself and was eventually pulled. Now that was a lot of inspiration for the movie. Let's check out what connections the new movie has to the ride. We will begin with where you start the ride, the stretching room. When you enter this room, the doors shut and the room begins to stretch. The portraits on the walls expand to reveal the grim fates awaiting the painting's subjects. The scene in the movie is closely modeled to Disneyland's version.
Oh my god.
Is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
It was not included in the original script. Director Justin Simien insisted that the film include the scene. The stretching room becomes an important part of the movie. The next connection is the song Grim Grinning Ghosts. Now that's a tongue twister. It plays throughout both Haunted Mansion rides in the U.S. Composer Chris Bowers turned the simple phrases into a lush, exciting movie score. The next inspiration is Disneyland's Haunted Mansion exterior. Simeon consulted a physical Bible that Disney created containing everything from aesthetic foundations to backstories for characters to scenes writers experience along their Haunted Mansion journey. He chose to build physical sets and use as many practical effects as possible, starting with the titular mansion instead of using CGI. It was built to match the look of the ride at Disneyland. The location continues to be New Orleans to connect to its original location in New Orleans Square at Disneyland. Moving to the next influence, Hatbox Ghost. You will never believe who is under the makeup for this character. It's none other than Jared Leto. This fan favorite character exists only in Disneyland's version of the ride. His head disappears from his shoulders and reappears in a box in his hands. The next connection is, of course, Madame Leota's head in a crystal ball. Jamie Lee Curtis takes on this role. As we discussed earlier, Madame Leota is one of the most famous parts of the ride. And finally, we have a trio of inspirations from the rides that are included in the movie. The hitchhiking ghosts. These are the ghosts that accompany riders out of the attraction in the final moments. A floating candelabra, similar to the one riders pass by at the beginning of the ride. And a doom buggy. In the film, this is a hilarious bit that sees Tiffany Haddish rolling through the mansion's halls in a high-back chair. It looks eerily similar to the vehicle's guests sit in while navigating the ride's course.
I should warn you, before you step inside the house, this could change the course of your entire life.
I'm not afraid of a couple ghosts.
These ghosts definitely don't want to leave.
God, give us a break. There's so many bad people in the world. Haunt them.
Amen.
Is anybody else seeing this?
I hope you do too.
We're gonna fight, whether we like it or not.
He was tall. He had hair that was sticking out of a
What did
Top hat.
eyes?
They were a bit, sunken.
Deep sunken eyes.
Like a raccoon.
Beady
They
eyes.
set back. He was smiling like, yeah, like that.
This kind of thing.
Exactly.
Is this the man who mugged you?
I'm glad the creators of these movies were dedicated to giving the audience a true feel of the experience that the rides inspired. Be sure to go on the Haunted Mansion rides at Disney theme parks. If not, make sure you get out to your local movie theater and see the movie. And if you can, see the 2003 version to compare. They are both worth watching. Thank you for those who have stuck around for my end credit bonus. So, Lakeith Stanfield, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Owen Wilson showed up at Disneyland to be cast members for the Haunted Mansion and surprise the guests that happened to be there at that time. So here, take a look at this.
Hey, it's Lakeith Stanfield. I'm here with my co-stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Owen Wilson.
And we are here talking about our new movie, Haunted Mansion for Disney.
Disney invited us to be honorary cast members for the day and take over our favorite attraction, Haunted Mansion.
You guys ready?
Oh, let's do this!
Let's do this!
Come on!
Yeah!
Do I look okay?
You look great. Fantastic.
I'm not scared. Are you scared?
Is this hard? I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Hello, foolish mortal. Hello. Welcome to the Haunted Mansion. Oh, now, you might see Madame Leota down there. She's a head full. I love you. Goodbye. Suckers.
Hello! Don't be frightened! Oh, almost missed you guys. How you doing? Come on, hurry! That place is haunted. Come over here. I think people are surprised that I'm not actually a talking car.
Hello, foolish mortals. Welcome. Be careful. It's haunted.
Lakeith, get ready. We got some fresh souls coming.
That was so good. How was that for you guys?
It's all right.
They were nice people.
They were excited. I
know.
like the enthusiasm.
You ready to go on the ride?
Should.
Are you afraid?
Let's not say we did.
Oh, come on.
Can't let her go alone. That's not very gentlemanly.
I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah. And don't forget, if you want more jump scares and screams, to see Disney's Haunted Mansion.
If you dare.
See you soon, and let's go to the movies.